waiting on the results back from my biopsy. If you are new here, go ahead and click that video so that you can get caught up and to see what it is that I am talking about. It is now past 10 days. Well past 10 days, and the results are in. To God be the glory. Everything came back benign. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Listen, I wasn't stressed. I wasn't even, okay, somebody else is happy. And I really wasn't even worried because in the vlog before, when we were talking about it, I had mentioned how I was giving that over to the Lord, and I wasn't gonna look, back and check to see was He handling it. I put my complete faith, my complete trust in the Lord, and y'all, He did exactly what His word said He would do. I am grateful for those test results. Now, however, I am still having the issues with them being quite large and the effects of having them there. So the talks of surgical removal is being discussed, and I will know more about that a little later this month. But I said, you know what, God, I'll take getting them removed and not having to look forward to any treatments of any sort. I'll take that if I have to get them removed and just go through that healing process. I'll do that. And I said, but God, you also have free range to come in. If you want to shrink them, you got free range to do that. God can do anything. God can do all things. But so I still have the effects of them being there. It is still a little difficult. It is pushing my windpipe over. Thank God I'm not really experiencing a whole lot of shortness of breath, but I do experience a lot of weakness in my arm because of two of them they're laying on a muscle that pretty much is connected to the tissue in my arm and in my chest and in my back. So there are some days I wake up and I'm flared up and I can move my head a certain way and pain will shoot up from my neck to my shoulders to my chest, and it's very uncomfortable. Sometimes I don't have the strength to pick up my kids, or I can't do a whole lot of movement with that arm. So one second. So yeah, I still have the pain that I deal with some days, and every day is, unpredictable. You never know what day you're going to not experience pain. Like today, I'm fine, but just giving an example, I've had days where I'm completely fine one day and the next day, and I feel like I've been hit by a dump truck. So I'm ready for some relief in that aspect. Hence why I have not been doing a lot of baking. It is a lot of arm work when you bake, and especially when you do decorative cakes. You have to use your arm strength. Cakes are heavy, and transporting them from my kitchen to my refrigerator out in the garage, it can be quite tiresome or painful because that pain in that shoulder, and with my arm experiencing weakness, it doesn't allow me to do that in the full capacity that I have been doing. So I have discontinued making custom cakes, but I will still share like some of the things that I have done to my channel, so that way you guys can see all the things that I have done. And it wasn't necessarily solely because of the situation going on with my neck. God literally is transitioning me and transitioning this business to a different place. And custom cakes is just not one of those things that will be going with me. However, I will be continuing baking but just not at the capacity of what I used to do. So I'm praying and seeking God on what He would have for me to do, that in regards to my baking business, as far as my cakes and whatnot. So I haven't made any movements because I have not received that answer yet. And you don't move when the Lord has not given you direction yet. You stand still. And so I am staying put until I get directions on what He would have for me to do. And then we'll move forward from there. So I just wanted to give you guys that update, to let you guys know that all is well. All is well. I'm just going through the little discomfort, and I'll deal with discomfort any day. I'll deal with discomfort any day. But if there is someone who is watching this channel and your diagnosis came out on the other end, please know that God is able to heal that. He's able to do anything that you can ask of Him to do. God will see you through even that. He will see you through even in that. And if you want prayer for that, you can easily comment, reach out to me, and just ask, hey, for me to pray for you, or, just to build up your prayer corner, because I can't imagine what kind of, feeling and headspace that can kind of put you in if you receive a diagnosis on the opposite end of benign. But just know that God is able to do the things that you desire of Him to do. He's able to see you through it, whatever your situation is. But I did want to give you guys that update and all the prayers, all of the encouragement that each of you reached out and gave, even testimonies that you guys have given on behalf of some of you all who have dealt with the same, or who have dealt with a situation, but it was a different location or a different situation, but God saw you through it and God healed you, and you sent those testimonies, or you reminded me of your testimony that was shared. I have a good friend who commented and reminded me of her testimony, and I'll never forget it. And I stood on that. I stood on those testimonies. Good testimonies build faith, y'all. So I'm just grateful to have had that prayer corner from you all. What an awesome prayer corner to have had. But I appreciate each of you. I love you dearly. And I pray that God's blessings and His greatest choices be upon you and your family.